In this video, we'll learn to attach the external references in our drawing. So right now we have this floor plan, and in this floor plan, we have this as the front direction. Also, this is the east view, the north view, and the west. Now we have made some different views which we will insert in this drawing as an external reference. So I'll first minimize this drawing, and I'll look at the drawings which we will include in this drawing as external reference. So here we have this east elevation and also the front elevation. Now we'll include both of these drawings as external references. So I'll go to this drawing again and now go to this insert tab. Now on this tab there is a palette here, references palette, and all the tools which are related to external references can be found here. In order to start attaching the files, you need to click on this attach icon. Alternatively, you can also use its command equivalent, and that is attach. So I'll click on this again, and now I'll scroll down this view and make sure that desktop is selected, or whatever the location from where you want to include your drawing, that should be selected. Now we have this east elevation. Let's select this and click on open. Now we have this attach external reference window. In this window, the first thing that you need to look is this one, the drawing name. And if you want to change it, you can click on the browse and locate a new drawing. Now we have a preview here, which is not very clear for this case, but if the drawing has been saved with a zoomed view, you can see that preview here. Now in this case, the scale has been set to 1 for all the X, Y, and Z axis. That means the original scale will be retained. If you want to change that, you can do that here. You can change it in different axes, and if you want to keep it uniform in all the axes, you can click on this checkbox. Also, we have an insertion point option here, and here it is selected as specify on screen, so I'll keep it checked. We want to specify the insertion point on the screen. Now here we have an option of reference type. So now we have these two reference types, the attachment and overlay. In case of attachment, the external references will be attached, and all the additional references which are again attached in the external reference will be included. So you can simply say that if you select the attachment radio button, all the external reference file and all of its nested files will be attached. But in case of overlay, only the selected XREF will be attached and the nested version of the files will be left out. Now let's look at this option here, which is the path type. Now this one is quite important. Here in this case, the relative path option is selected, and this is a new enhancement in AutoCAD 2018 version. So prior to this, the path was selected as full path. Now relative path and full path are the two paths which you can assign to your external references, and by default relative path is selected. If you select the relative path, the path will start from the directory where your drawing is saved and it will go outwards. So one of the advantage of using relative path is the associativity of files will not be lost even when the drive changes. For example, if there is a renaming of drive, or if some of the drawings are moved, that will not affect the external references, and the drawing will still be able to find out the attached files. But in case of full path, if the drive letter is changed, the drawing will become unable to find out the drawings which are attached. So it's always recommended to keep a relative path, although you can select full path or no path from this drop down. Now here we have the rotation angle which you can change if you want, and here we have some details. So click on show details and that will show you the saved path. So that's the relative path. You can see this dot here which indicates the directory in which your primary drawing is saved, which is desktop, and also the external references are on the same directory. That's why we don't have anything else after that, and we directly have this east elevation.dwg, which is the XREF which we are going to attach now. If you change this relative path to full path, here we have the drive letter included, and that will include the complete path. And now in this case, if there is any change in any of these subfolders or the drive letter, the drawing will not be able to find out the east elevation.dwg external reference, and that will create a lot of trouble if you are migrating your drawing later on. So it's always recommended to keep it at relative path. Now with all of these settings, click on OK, and here on the cursor we have this external reference. So let's click here and here we have the east elevation. Now when you look closely, you'll find out that the fading is there in this external reference. In this case, the transparency has been increased so that it looks dull when compared with the original drawing. You can control the fading of these external references from the references palette. So click on this reference, and here we have the XREF fading, which is set to 50%. So you can increase this slider if you want to make it even dim, and if you want to make it bright, you can decrease this slider here. So I'll keep it at 50%, the default value. Now also, whenever you attach an external reference, you'll see this external reference icon on the status bar. So that indicates that your current drawing has external references, and you can click on this manage XREF icon to open this external references palette, about which we'll learn in a moment. So let's go to the second attachment. So I'll click on attach, and I'll include the second one, the front elevation, and I'll include it with the same settings in this drawing. Now here we have the front elevation as well. So we have this main drawing, the floor plan, and also two external references attached here.